Welcome back, everybody, to an episode already in progress. If it wasn't in progress, would we even be able to tell where we are? So someone mentioned, okay, let's rewind that back a little bit. This is the weekly update. This is the 2nd of December, Friday, the 2nd of December. Decided to rush this one because I spent way too much time doing other stuff. And then I said, time to get filming, and didn't. So here we are now in the crunch. Part of this was, have you ever bought 100 feet of heat shrink before? It was the only way I could get the 3/16/5mm that I needed. 100 feet at a time. Honestly, I think I could go on record and say I'll never have to buy 3/16 heat shrink again. Someone in the comments a couple days ago, had mentioned Rusty. So I pulled Rusty out and decided he hasn't been wheeled in a while. What we should do is do that going through to find how many fasteners are missing, screws are loose. And there was a couple. One of the body mount retaining screws that actually holds the mount part on was just gone. So the whole front body mount was flopping around. And he was making odd noises when being driven. So I'm hoping that was at least part of it. You might notice there's something conspicuously missing up here because while I got him out, I was like, he's been running on this. This is literally a Power Wheels motor. I think it was sold as the Peg Perego. I had to grind a flat onto it because they come with swaged pinions. And I thought I had accidentally bought a couple extra brushed motors at one point. This is a 55 turn 540 because I felt like this one is listed as 1,000 kV. And it just never really felt slow enough. And as I had to get to everything to pull the motor out, as I mentioned before, I don't do motor connectors. It takes 5 minutes to unsolder a motor. Might as well remove as many potential points of failure as possible. So I just hardwire my motors. So we got a little 55 turn 540 in there. I'm hoping, and I had to clean up some messy cutting and soldering and on the wires. I didn't really like the look of the solder joint, the factory solder joint on there from Hobbywing. So I resoldered that. While I had it all open, I thought, you know what? Rusty runs on the good old DS3225SG, the 35 kg. I would say no time like the present. Oh, you know what we should do? He's on. We should turn this off. Otherwise, he's running on a GT5. And GT5 will yell at you every few seconds until you turn the steering wheel. I figured we've got it out. So they've got three. Oh, I guess like that is probably better. So we've got 3 specs listed for the. And I realize I'm doing the terrible cinematographic framing. 7.4 volts. They have specs listed for this guy at like, I think 5 volts, 6 volts, and 7.4 volts. It's rated at 35 kg at 7.4 volts. So I genuinely, is there a bad glare this way? No! All right. It's only when the camera is in the alternative position. I don't see any reason to run it any lower. I'm running Rusty over here at 7.4 volts off of that guy. Now, on the spec sheet, Hobbywing? No, these guys. I believe mine is a Zoske. I don't think it makes any difference what the name of yours is. They're effectively all the same. It's the same servo sold by whatever parts house, retailer, etc. So I've been running it at 7.4 volts, even though, as you can see there, the 2-speed shift servo is a Traxxas, and I don't think those things would survive 7.4 volts for even a matter of minutes. Hasn't been a problem. So we have a couple things to tackle here. Let's find out what this guy does. We have to go to the. Oh yeah. We got to go to the bit. It's gone again. I have oh, no. Never mind. I'm trying to kind of hustle here. You know me. We go to the middle hole. I thought about using his normal everyday horn for the test here, because I don't believe his horn is at where is his horn? I don't believe his horn is. I think it has the outer hole cut off. So he's on that hole compared to that hole, because otherwise, I don't know, it hits something. It hits something in the suspension, so he runs one hole shorter. Now, this should make slightly less torque in the rig. I looked up the specs for this guy before I turn the camera on, and it claims 2.3 amps stall at 7.4 volts, and it claims 35 kg. You know what? We're here. It doesn't take that much longer to do 6 pulls. We're going to do 3 pulls at 7.4, and then I'll do 3 pulls at 6. I'll try to snap them out here. 2.3 amp stall at 7.4, 2.1 amp stall at 6 volts. That's an important consideration, because to my knowledge, it might be, I should have double checked. It might be 5 amp peak, 3 amp constant BEC. I've never had anything resembling an issue with power. So let's fire up the little the ductor meter scale here. Oh, you know what I didn't check? Okay, it's conventional. First pull at 7.4 volts. $509.6. I neglected to look at the amps. I'm going to on the next one. I don't know why I look at this number. That number doesn't mean anything until it goes until I hear the beep. So this time around, I'm gonna watch this real close. So 503.6, but if you're paying close attention to that, I saw the amps go over 4, just a little bit over 4 for just a second. I got to remember, turn this way, turn this way. I'll explain in a second why sometimes I turn it the wrong way, because you would think every servo would be one like clockwise. Not the case. Oh. Again, that was right in the neighborhood of 4 amps. It just poked above 4 amps. I think that's probably actually fine, because if we do this, if we just do a little, yeah, see, we're at 2 amps, it pulled almost 300 ounces, 273. But at 7.4 volts, full gusto, we're peaking right at 4 amps, and it's trickling off. So that's not a huge amount of power being pulled down. That's honestly, that's not bad at all. So at 7.4 volts, peaking around 4 amp draw at stall, and then kind of tapering off. Average among the 3 pulls, 508.9 ounces, which is 36.7 kg. Absolutely good on ya. Amazon blue case. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. And now I know why it has always felt like it's plenty for this guy, because it is. The sole drawback to these being they're trading speed for power, and we don't need a ton of speed, really. This is such fine control here. There we go. 6 volts. Might as well pull it 3 times to see what we get. I've gotten some strange results. Once I do these 3 pulls, we'll talk about. I've gotten some results on some servos that you would not expect. $455.8. I did it again. I didn't look at the amps. It's not even up to skin temperature yet. It still feels a little bit cool. This time I'm not going to watch the blue numbers. I'm going to watch the red numbers. it peaked just a hair above 3.5. So that's a good drop down in amps, from half an amp down. 452.6 on the second pull. I will say, I've tested a couple servos now, and I will interject right here to say the Flash Hobby servo test video will be up tomorrow. One servo had to go back to its normal home. There's the 45 kg that was tested, and here's the 50 kg that was tested. They haven't gotten put away yet. So I tested the 45, the 50, and the 60. That will be up tomorrow. It's still in edit. I haven't even finished filming this one, and I haven't even finished editing the other one. So I'm getting ahead of myself, behind myself. I don't even know where I am. I know where I am. We're going to do third pull on the blue case 35 kg. I saw 3.6 for a split second there. 452.9 on pull 3. I want to take an extra second here to talk about when we're dropping the numbers on this one, and it's not even warm. Before dropping the numbers on this one, at 6 volts, in order, the 3 pulls were 455.8, 452.6, and 452.9. That's a variance of 3.2 ounces between the strongest, and weakest pulls. That is an average of 453.8, which is 32.7 kilograms per centimeter. You lose 55 ounces dropping from 7.4 volts to 6 volts, which is right almost spot on 10%. That is effectively 10%. So 10% less power at almost 20% less voltage. These things are strong. They are really strong. I am constantly surprised by the performance of both the red case and the blue case. The sole drawback to the blue case, in my estimation, is this. I mean, it is slow. But you're trading that speed for something which is arguably more valuable, which is 500 plus, just a hair over 500 ounces of torque at 7.4 volts out of a servo that on any given day is $35, and on a good day you can get it for a little bit less. So now I have to extricate him and put him back in Rusty. And Rusty is going to come out and mash around with us a little bit. I got to say, I love this thing. Like it. I love tools. I've made it known that I love tools, and this is a tool, and I use it. I already use it far more than I would have anticipated. So hopefully it will only take me a moment or two to get Rusty put back together. I need to get his servo wire snaked in, and then this is effectively a TRX4, which is different axles, AR-45 straights of all things. So you got to get the horn on, because you can't adjust the horn once the servo's in place. There's absolutely no room. The panhard bar goes right across the arm. I wouldn't be surprised if the arm has like a little wear mark on it from where the panhard bar hits it. There's a little shiny spot on the panhard bar from the top. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go out and talk about what has been worked on course-wise. So as I have more than alluded to, as I have just outright said, that sacrifice that you make to get 500 ounces, and an honest to goodness 500 ounces for $35 is... Oh, I think I have I'm going to say that endpoint can come back a little. We shouldn't be able to execute a 3-wheel motion. Yeah. You can see the whole front end shifting over. So those endpoints need to be poked around at a little bit. But you know what? We'll let it fly. We'll let it fly. We'll get to it when we get to it. Rusty hasn't been out on the course in a minute. I feel like a fairly substantial amount of the course has been built since the last time this guy was taken out. I like that with the way these axles sit. That's basically all the way down. I think the shocks are touching. This guy could really, I mean, we don't mind it being up a little high. These are bounty hunters, are I think 393. These are very small. But I'm just feeling out 55. I think the low speed's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's gonna be all right. Let's put this thing in a different tripod and go do that thing we do. Out of the blue, or the gray, more accurately, my weather app had the audacity to say to me, "Light rain for the next hour." So I broke a bone in my hand. What was a boxer's fracture on my right hand a number of years ago. My bone guy was like, "Yeah, you'll be good as new again in like 7 to 9 years." So awesome. So I get to be a participant in that thing that I always thought was like movie lore, where I can tell rain's a coming, but I can tell when rain is coming, and my hand doesn't really hurt that much today, so I don't think rain is actually coming. This is first gear. I'm out here pretty much, so let's oh yeah. That's slower. Oh no, I was in high gear the whole time. So you know what? His control, that was the low speed, and I shifted wrong. I drove all the way, that low slow poke coming out here, that was in high the whole way. That's promising at least. Rusty's gonna just drive over here into the open for a minute. I don't know what this gimbal is doing. All right, so here's a spot of clear ground that hasn't been seen in many a moon, because I spent this morning, my wife walked out here and said, "Why did you go through all this work to move that 2 feet?" Well, I mean, in actuality, it used to be right about there. That was where the plant, we'll call it the plant. That's where the plant was. So the plant got moved back this far, and I had to resort all this because from moving the DG that great number of times, what had happened is it was DG on the outside and a crunchy core on the inside. So it's probably, I don't know, it might be close to a cubic yard of the DG still in play here, but the amount of rock, look at the amount of sorted and graded rock. That's a cubic yard easy. And I was digging through one of the washouts over there, and I know from a distance it looks like drywall. It's granite or quartz countertop. Look at that big unbroken piece. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm glad to have it. I'll figure. I might I might make like a workbench or something out of that. That might be the thing that I use to weld on. Like, I don't know. Look how nice it is. Make a nice little frame for it. Anyway, got the whole plant moved. It's cleaned up a bit. I've done, all right, on this guy. Wait right there, Rusty. On this guy on the side, we have got, it's finally starting to dry in over at this end. Because it was so chalked out and the bags were so bad, this took forever to set, forever. So you can see it's getting all grayed out now. It's actually, like, how is it so tan? through the camera it looks more gray, but to my eye it looks much more tan than I thought it would. I've decided not to do full concrete. I'm going to leave some spots out like this. If some grass or weeds want to grow in there, that's fine. Coming through here. This is about where I got with the last of the rotten quickreed. And then out here was a little bit of canyon blend. And this was done some yesterday, but mostly the day before. So this has been 48 hours. And we still have quite a bit of, like, the further down the line you get, like, that still just looks wet. And is that an angry hole? That is an angry hole. Then when we get out to here, I got to the point where I was like, how much of this do I actually want to keep concreting in? Because this part is messed up. I had gotten a delivery of bigger chunk out here. And as I said, the goal is run the whole gauntlet here end to end without a reset. And that is going to be rough. I need a couple buckets, one to set the camera down on and one to sit my duff down on, and then I'll talk about, you know, other stuff. Because if we can make every wheel session into a test session, why wouldn't we do that? As I was doing that little bit of wrenching on this guy to get him put back together, the thought occurred to me, I gotta ask you, like, what's for the day? Let's call you one riggers. People with one rig. First off, is that a thing? Second off, if it is a thing, how do you live? Like, how? Even with things that are very, very similar to one another, there's still so much variety. I've got rigs. I think the Tranquish has 4 servos in them. This guy's got 2 servos and his speed control. Oh, there we go. Sometimes you just want that, elegant simplicity. Sometimes you want something that can do nonsense. Wisely or unwisely, we're gonna both try this Descent and Active Track. It's fallen out of Active Track already. It did not take long for Active Track as a function go from working pretty well to not working at all. So I feel like I can say the gimbal has definitely lost a little bit of luster with me, just because it's finicky, and the app is, I don't want to go straight into the easy hit, the easy onomatopoeia of the app is crap, but the app is bad. Hardware's so good. And I can walk around with the camera, which is nice. Clearing that bumper is... I am still constantly and consistently amazed by both that blue case 500-ounce servo and Class 1 bounty hunters. Yeah, this is better low speed than with the Power Wheels motor. Not unsurprising. Nice to get some bearings in there. Should be a little more efficient. And there are situations like this where that slow poke of a servo, it actually kind of helps, because you won't overcorrect a wheel. Let's see if I can pull that. And I had to go to some really, I should have brought a hat. It's, not only is it not raining, it's extraordinarily bright. It's 945 in there, as low of gearing as you can fit in a TRX4 gearbox. That's going to bring final down even more, because we've got pretty much the smallest tires of anything aside from my 242 millimeter wheelbase Jimny. So these are little. But Rusty's a tough boy. I could have reached down and gotten the camera. There he comes. Oh. We should take him over to one of the slots just for fun. You're not gonna make it, dude. When the full fendered venture into the slots. That bumper, that front bumper, it's gonna be a problem. Just gonna kind of blast it over there. We'll let him take. This is what, 4? Heading into 4. 4 should be one of the more easy to manage, I would think. Although Rusty, yeah, I mean, we basically, unless gates are on the ground, and you know what, the way we make up the rules as we go along around here, I don't even know if gates on the ground would make reverses in here count. Because this is a bad place. Oh, I want to see that from the other side. All right, Rusty, show me what you got. He's got a lot of suspension trouble on 90s is what he's got. Oh, you see that corner of that bumper go in. But he's so narrow. He's such a slender boy that it kind of fit through the bottom here. Uh-oh. Oh, other pertinent information. For anyone looking forward to the Flash Hobby servo test, did I already mention? Yes, I did mention. That's already been done. That will be up tomorrow, regardless of how long it takes to edit. I just, in terms of coursework, I need more material. What you see atop of frame, that's all I have left. I don't have anything else left. I was doing the construction equivalent of spending with Wild Abandon, which is I just started throwing material down everywhere, and I didn't save anything in reserve. So now I have spots that are unfinished. There's still, most notably, that section over in Drybone Valley, which needs more stuff added to it. I need more stuff for the big long, I don't know what I had called it Southern Reach, but it needs a proper name because I called it Southern Reach before anything was there. So that one needs a proper name. It needs, I'm gonna snap an axle if I keep this up. We may be coming into double perfect timing because the gimbal just did its first glitch shutdown, and that clip was, or maybe 2 minutes into that clip, so there's no rhyme nor reason as to why it quits out when it does. And the controller is at 4.94 volts. I'm not exactly sure what the number is where the GT5 starts yelling at you, but I feel like it's soon. We'll take a run at Big Rock here. Oh. I was hoping, against hope, let's chalk it up conditionally. Let's chalk it up to the holiday season. I get my FedEx deliveries at about 7 o'clock at night. And on top of the 7 o'clock at night delivery time, every delivery I've gotten in the past 2 weeks that's been shipped via FedEx is either a day late or 2 days late. So the package I am waiting for today was supposed to be, that's never gonna happen, dude. Was supposed to be delivered Wednesday. I was hoping I could give a little unveil teaser breakdown of that, but it was not meant to be. So Fridays, I don't know why, I should do the State of the Canyons on like Sunday or something, because Friday invariably a busy day, and I try to squeeze all this in. And because it's the Friday update, I feel obligated to shoot them on Friday. So I've got to shoot and then edit and then hope for the best when it comes to YouTube about getting it uploaded in time. But enough about it. I want to thank everybody for coming along today on this little adventure. It was one of those weeks where I don't know, I felt like I should have gotten more done. Did I get less done than I wanted to? I don't know. Getting into the proper holiday season now. I am, of course, waiting on FedEx for some unintended Black Friday purchases. Spur of the moment Black Friday purchases, let's call them. They got me this year. Most years Black Friday, one year for Black Friday, but drag brake. I bought an air nozzle for one of my compressor hoses, like a safety nozzle, and it's really great, and I love that nozzle. And that was literally the only item I bought on Black Friday. This year they got me good. I ended up buying some Final Cut Pro plugins. I bought some other stuff that I'm still waiting for to be delivered, and they will lead to some content here in the near future. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody has a better weekend. Oh, can I get out of this? Better than Rusty's doing right now. Just a little shot of the underside there with the front element links. High clearance links turned sideways because they are indeed high clearance. There, and look at that front end move. Yeah, there's definitely some endpoint stuff going on there. So we'll call that a wrap up. It's Flash Hobby Servo test up tomorrow. It's the battery and the gimbal's dying. It's Flash Hobby Servo test tomorrow, which is the 3rd. The day after that, we've got a Jake installment. And I don't know what's coming up after that. That all kind of hinges on FedEx. So get out and get some wheeling, man. Our weather looks like it's trying to turn on us. I don't know. What does this look like to everyone? Does it look like it's trying to turn on us? We've got those multi-layer clouds going. Still doesn't feel like rain though. Anyway, over the weekend, have a good one, everybody. If you're not a guy that putters around all day, every day, enjoy your weekend time. If weather allows, if you're not in a place that has full-blown winter, enjoy some wheeling. Tune in tomorrow to see that Flash Hobby one. Tune in the day after that for the Jake one. Tune in the day after that for whatever comes on that day. And, yeah, that's that. I just hope everybody's having a good time out there, Have a good time. Yeah, we'll call it a wrap. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.